So here we are, back to Pokemon again. We're going to talk about the Gen 3 starters and how I rate them. So, yeah, let's do that. So yeah, just like last time, remember, as always, this list works in terms of, and we're going into Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. This is Gen 3, the starters, at least as far as I am aware, there are only 3 starters, so that's going to be Torchic, Mudkip, Trico. Those 3 are the only ones that I am rating here, and I'm going to have to put this one out there right off the bat. This was the generation, the last one I played, so I probably ran through this game 4 times max. It's funny that's how many times I run through this game. But Pokemon games are pretty simple. Like, you beat them, you start them over, you beat them, you start them over. You get an idea of what you want and what the Pokemon are that you actually liked in each run through, and then you're pretty much, from that point on, you have your standards. But look, this game I played more than the next ones, but this was pretty much where I started to drop off in terms of Pokemon. This was my last generation, so this list was more difficult than the other ones have been. Anyways, that's the idea. You know the idea. This is the third one of these. We're talking about the one that I would have picked, the one most likely to be picked, all the way down to the one I probably will never pick. So let's go ahead and start this list. Okay. At number 3, we have Torchic. Because of course we have freaking Blaziken, okay? Like, Blaziken is broken. He's broken, he's awesome, he's still viable in the competitive scene today. He's a powerful sweeper. He was crazy good when he showed up in this game, and the games in general. He has never lost his relevance even today. And then on top of it, to give him a mega evolution and make him even more broken than he already was. And I'm usually not a stat person. We talked about this. With Pokemon, there's an aesthetic to me where I feel like if this, like, okay, I spent a long time in Sword and Shield just trying to figure out what my team was going to be based on what my character looked like. That's real. So I had certain guys in my team that I liked, but I didn't feel like my character fit those guys, so I got rid of them. So look, that's what I'm talking about here when I talk about how aesthetics plays into Pokemon for me in a very important way, because I need to feel like the people that I'm training fit the narrative of the story that I'm playing. Well, Blaziken looks great with the female protagonist of this game. I honestly believe that is the one, that's where it belongs. Whereas I believe that Trico looks good with the male of the game. That being said, this gets my top spot primarily, if I have to say primarily the reason, one, because I didn't play the game, like I said, that often, so when I blazed through the game, I did that with the Torchic line. The other playthroughs were a little bit more difficult for me. And his final evolution, I think, is remarkably solid. Blaziken is awesome, okay? So, just, there you go, okay? He's my top spot, guys. Going on from there, Trico makes my second spot, so this is number 2. Now, Trico, I think what I really like about Trico is he just looks smug. I don't know why, but I love the idea that he looks smug. Like, You know, just I love that. That is the quintessential thing that draws me to him. Now, what hurts his line is that going into the second evolution, I love him. He's like a crazy grass raptor. And I'm like, holy shit, this dude is awesome. Then we jump from that into the next form, and it fell apart for me. It was not as good. It was not, for me, the proper way to evolve from that point. Because, I mean, okay, he goes from being like this smug, cool guy to then going to be like this aggressive, awesome raptor thing. And then he kind of goes back to being like a smug, cool guy. But there's something about that that bothers me. And it's weird because there's going to be another smug grass type that I have to talk about later on, where I actually like its line as it goes. But this guy, the third form hurt him. The third form pretty much guaranteed, and this was still close. No, not necessarily close. See, the Torchic's second form, I don't like that. I don't think that's good. And then this guy, his third form, I don't like that, and I don't think that's good. And that is hurtful because by the time I get to the final form, like I said, aesthetics play into this game for me. And if I don't care for the third form line as it looks next to my trainer, I'm going to leave it behind. I like the way Blaziken looks walking with me. I don't like the way that this guy looks. I can't remember his name right now. This guy gets second place. He gets second place because his final form I don't necessarily agree with. It's still cool, but it's not where I expected the second form to go into that third. I expected the third to be different, and it really offset me in a way that guaranteed that he was not going to make the top spot of this list. Now, the last person is Mudkip. You know how the last video I had to ask what the crap is Chikorita? What the shit is Mudkip? Like, what the what? Like, I see the chicken, I get the idea where they were going. I see the lizard, I get the idea where they were going. I see the landfish swamp thing. I don't know what this thing is. I don't know. And I'm not an animal expert, so I don't know where they were going with it or what the idea was, or it's lost on me. It's lost on me, and it's weird because they play it out like it's supposed to be like cute, and maybe in a weird kind of ugly way it is, because I see a lot of fan art, which of course you're seeing right here as we talk about this, that makes it look like it's a super cute like thing. But to me, it's like this weird, ugly abomination thing that just becomes an even bigger abomination as it evolves, and it is not for me. It is not for me. Aesthetically, I don't think that this Pokemon fits either of the two trainers. I think it legitimately looks bad and is just an overall awful design. I'm sorry if you love the Mudkip, but I don't see why you do. So that was it. We knocked out another 3. That's Generation 3 down. And next we'll be going on to Generation 4 to talk about those guys, which is the game I have played the least in the history of all Pokemon. In fact, I'm going to have to talk aesthetically almost completely in terms of that game because it's the only one in the entire series that I never beat. I got about halfway through it on a single run and quit. So that's going to be a very different kind of talk. But this one is done. You know where I stand now. Later on.
I have spoken. Take what you will from it.